Iceland as communities prepare for a potential volcanic eruption.
And we tell you how to keep it safe on the roads with more rain in the forecast.
Plus, how you can take self-care to the next level as the days get shorter the closer we get to the winter solstice.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
And welcome into Weather Extra. Lauren, Tania, I still can't get adjusted to this short dark at 4 o'clock. I mean, come on.
It's a little upsetting. Yeah. Every time I walk out of the studio, go back to the weather office, I'm like, man, it
pitch
looks
black,
gloomy and black and dark outside. Yeah. Just brings the mood down a little bit.
I know. Well, at least it warmed up a little bit. That helped the mood out a little bit for this afternoon. Let me show you what the next big thing is that we have on the way. Finally, we got some rainfall. And when I started looking at some of those Weather Watcher reports a minute ago, I said, look out. We had over a ½ inch of rain in some areas. But look at this thing. It's a low pressure system. It's spinning over the Gulf of Mexico. And if you first glance at this, it's almost like, well, we got a tropical system down here over the Gulf, but it's not a tropical low, but it is wrapping a lot of cloud cover. You can see that circulation, all the clouds and the moisture lifting north here across Alabama. And until this moves on to the east, there's still a chance that a few showers could lift in from the south. So as we go into tonight, into tomorrow, what's going to happen here is we stay mostly cloudy tonight, and you can see to the south of Rockford, south of Clanton, and around Centerville, we've been tracking some of these showers. There's still a chance some of this could lift in. So just giving you the first alert that it's not completely dry across the area tonight. There's a few locations, especially south, where we still could see a few of these showers. And over the next 60 minutes, well, we're not expecting any of this to lift into Birmingham within the hour, or Tuscaloosa or Anniston. It looks like impacts over the next 60 minutes based on our data for areas here off to the south. So here's the latest drought monitor. And of course, we will be talking about the updated drought monitor tomorrow, but we've got the extreme, even exceptional. Look at that level 5 there across far and northeast Alabama. But I want to overlay the estimated rainfall totals from last night. And you can see from the extreme drought areas, we did have a pocket in here, Walker, Fayette, northern Tuscaloosa County, where we picked up over a ½ inch of rain according to radar estimates. And then we had some areas even in the severe zone, parts of Chilton County and into Talladega County there, where we picked up over 2/10 of an inch of rain. Certainly not a drought-ending rain. In fact, we're close to 7 inches behind on rainfall since early September. So we need 7 to 8 inches of rain just to catch up here. But you can see our first alert weather watchers checking in. And how about Tony Siegel? Yeah, West Blockton, 63/100ths of an inch of rain, over ½ inch of rain in Lamar County from Tony McDonald. So like those higher rain amounts. But again, a first alert for a few evening showers, especially south. And then we have isolated showers coming back on Friday. And then the next big chance of rain for early next week around Monday. So I'll be showing you that coming up in your first alert forecast.
And we brought you this story to you yesterday about the significant likelihood of a volcanic eruption in Iceland. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more from London.
We have a home here, we have a company, and we're about to lose everything.
Thousands in Iceland remain evacuated following a series of earthquakes that could mean a major volcanic eruption is right around the corner. Most of the evacuations taking place near the town of Grindavik, about 30 miles southwest of the capital, Reykjavik. The order is coming after hundreds of small quakes hit the region every day for more than 2 weeks, cracking roads and prompting an aviation warning. Officials say they're now monitoring a magma tunnel that's more than 6 miles long and spreading quickly.
The latest data shows considerable displacement in a large magma tunnel that is forming and may open. This decision is made with the safety of the residents in mind.
Volcanic eruptions in Iceland are closely monitored because they can cause major travel disruptions. They spew highly abrasive ash high into the atmosphere, where it can damage planes and reduce visibility. The last major eruption back in 2010 essentially halted air travel in and out of Europe for days, creating a backlog that impacted flights worldwide. But officials in Iceland remain concerned about the situation on the ground, with evacuees saying they're happy to be out of the danger zone.
Earth can just open up and swallow you, you never know. So it was really scary, and actually when I came here to safety, I felt so good, so relieved.
Overnight, meteorologists said they detected sulfur dioxide in the air, meaning the magma might be getting closer to the surface. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Well, back here in the States, November is shaping up to be one for the history books in Anchorage, Alaska. The city is just an inch away from experiencing its snowiest month on record. According to the National Weather Service, Anchorage has seen 37.9 inches of snow just this month, with the regular average being 38.8 inches. I don't know if we've ever even seen that much snow in Alabama, ever. Nearly half of the accumulation came after a snowstorm dumped 18 inches of snow in the area. A snow emergency was put into place last week by the mayor of Anchorage and has been extended into this week. The city received another round of snow last night and into this morning. And though our friends up north are dealing with heavy snowfall, that leads us to how we can continue to prepare for winter weather, if we end up seeing any in this area. And it is still Winter Weather Awareness Week. We are joined now by meteorologist Tania Michelle. Tania, how can we travel safely in winter weather? Because goodness knows, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, let me help you, Lauren.
Please.
I got you. So here's this checklist. Number one, you want to make sure that you communicate whatever route you're going to take. Let somebody know that, hey, listen, I'm headed here. So that way, in case something happens, someone knows where to locate you. The second thing you want to make sure you do is make sure your cell phone is fully charged. You want to have a charged device and charged devices. Keep a portable charger on hand as well. That makes it super helpful and easy to communicate with people. You got to have a charged phone battery. Don't be like me having a dead phone 90% of the time. Lauren's like, yes, that's definitely Tania. And number three, you want to make sure that you have an emergency kit. Now, here's what needs to be in that emergency kit: sleeping bags, flashlights, a first aid kit, a cell phone charger. We talked about that portable charger, sand or cat litter for traction, windshield scraper, and brush or shovel, tow rope, battery booster cables. Those are some items you want to have in that emergency kit. Number four is to winterize your vehicle before traveling. Ensure your car battery has enough power. Ensure your car is filled with antifreeze. Keep the gas tank full. A full tank will keep the fuel line from freezing. Very important to know. And lastly, drive with extreme caution and avoid overpasses and bridges, excuse me. Yeah, those are two places that you want to avoid when snow is packed on them. Well, join us tomorrow as we speak with an expert on how we can prepare our home for the winter weather. It is also that time of the year where the days feel shorter and doctors are sharing some tips on how to cope with any seasonal depression that could come with it. Cleveland Clinic psychologist Kiore Pruitt says seasonal affective disorder can begin during late fall. If you're feeling sad, don't have a ton of energy, or you're having trouble sleeping, she says light therapy might help. Pruitt recommends using a special lamp that will mimic sunlight despite the cold. Going outside and socializing can also help during the winter. Pruitt says you might have to force yourself to be active in order to feel good later. If feelings of sadness if those feelings continue, she advises people to seek professional help. And in 30 minutes, Matt Daniel and Mickey Ferguson, two of our First Alert meteorologists, they're going to tell us how you can stay safe on those wet roads. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. We actually sped up time, and here we are back 30 seconds, not 30 minutes later, Tania. So I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan with more rain on the horizon for Thanksgiving week. Meteorologist Matt Daniel and Mickey Ferguson share some tips for navigating slick roads.
So Mickey, this morning I was driving up Red Mountain. It's raining. The leaves are everywhere. It's kind of slippery. I had a little bit of hydroplaning issues going on.
Have some spinning in the tires. You got the front wheel drive or the back wheel drive. One of those.
Yeah,
Okay,
something like that. I just drive. But yeah, we had to deal with that this morning.
All right.
We might have to deal with a little bit of rain by the end of the week and even going into next week. So we want to make sure you stay safe. And we always say slow down when it rains. Well, this graphic explains why.
Yeah, here's a comparison. When it's dry, if you're going like 35 miles an hour, in order to stop, you need to give about 130 to 170 feet. So that's basically 50 yards on a football field.
Okay, so halfway through, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, if it's just raining, it can take 150 to 195 feet. So that's about 50 to maybe 75 yards or so, I would guess. But when you have leaves and it's raining, you have to slow down even more.
That's 275 to 360 feet. And that, what is that?
Well, that's about 100 yards right there.
Okay. And if there's ice out there as we get into the winter months, you need to allow for even more stopping distance because you can go slip sliding away in a hurry. Sometimes just the engine slowing you down is a good idea instead of hitting those brakes.
Yeah, so whenever you encounter something like that, you never want to slam on the brakes. You just want to get off the gas pedal, slow it down slowly, take it easy. Otherwise, you can be slipping a good bit, especially when you have the wet leaves or, in the case of wintertime, ice and snow. So what about the time? We just looked at the distance. Let's talk about how long it takes.
Well, 3 to 4 seconds when it's dry, but that really goes up the scale to 3 to 5 seconds when it's wet. And then we've got the wet leaves and the ice that causes even more of a stopping distance. Anywhere from 8 to 12 seconds to 14 seconds. You just need to really be careful out there.
That's right. So, you know, the leaves still falling, and we're going to still have to deal with this perhaps Friday when we have a chance for some showers, and early next week we could see some wind and rain that could not only give us that rain and wet roads, but also the leaves could be falling down as well. So I definitely want to take it easy on the roadways, especially for next week.
Because it's just been a while since it's rained, and even the oil itself rising to the surface could present its own problems. Y'all be careful out there, and hopefully we'll get that much needed rain.
And we all know even if it rains regularly, we still don't know how to drive out there. On that note, coming up on First Alert Weather Extra, a peek at your Thanksgiving travel forecast. And of course, we take you beyond the 7-day all the way to the end of November.
Welcome back into Weather Extra. A little bit of rain still on radar tonight for areas to the south. Further north, we're still dry. Temperatures right now in the 50s, but we have a system spinning across the Gulf of Mexico, and that's still going to generate some cloud cover and some showers. It looks, though, the way this is setting up, the greatest chance is going to be over the lower third of the area for tonight. As we look ahead, one of the next big things, just to show you the pattern here across the country, we have another dip in the jet stream is going to send a front our way. Looks like that's going to happen on Friday, and you can see right there how that swings across and generates some wet weather. It's not a heavy rainmaker, but again, a few scattered showers could start to impact the area on Friday. It looks like late Friday into Friday evening. So let's walk through the next couple of days. I know it says next 24 hours, but let's start it out. We'll go through tonight, and you can see how the data is picking up on some of this wet weather to the south. But I still can't rule out a sprinkle north. It just looks like as far as the greatest chance of showers, area south. Look at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Some of the new data is showing maybe a little bit of rain again lifting in, perhaps around Jefferson, Shelby, Tuscaloosa County. So out the door tomorrow morning, a first alert. But that's it. That system's going to slide on to the east, and we're dry for the rest of the day. And a nice little warm up. The models are depending on how much cloud cover we see. If we get a lot of clouds, highs around 70, but if we break into more sunshine, I can easily see those temperatures topping 70 degrees there during the afternoon hours. And then tomorrow night, the lows in the 50s, we stay dry. Let's jump ahead to Friday afternoon, and you can see here some scattered showers could come back. Again, it's not a lot of rain, but the possibility is there. In fact, the data was really suggesting earlier that northern locations might have a better chance of seeing some of the shower activity, but this will continue into Friday evening, but sunshine comes back just in time for the weekend. As we look ahead to next week, we see on Monday and Tuesday for holiday travel, the next big system that will impact the area. Looks like a good chance of rain for next Monday and into Tuesday. See it right there? So plan for some wet weather. It looks like that is going to move out of here just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. So as we look ahead on down the road on that 7-day forecast, Thanksgiving Day, you can see we clear out highs in the 50s with overnight lows back into the 30s. So let's check out our 7-day forecast, and you can see the weekend again. Saturday and Sunday looks dry. We're in good shape for college football. Looks like Monday, Tuesday again, rain chances more likely, and high temperatures taking a tumble. 39 showing up there again for early next Wednesday morning. Had a great weather visit today. Check out the banner here. Yeah, awesome time over at I3 Academy, all the 6th graders, and we had a lot of fun talking about the science of meteorology. A lot of future meteorologists in the crowd there. I want to thank the science instructor, our good friend, Mr. Kenny Williams, for inviting us out. And he did a great job on the tambourine, by the way. I had the guitar, he had the tambourine. So not only did we have fun talking science, but also singing about science and talking about meteorology and severe weather safety. But a big thank you to I3 Academy Middle School. And by the way, teachers, you can head over to our website, look for Weather in the Classroom, sign up for a weather visit right there. But let's head to meteorologist Lauren Linehan now. Lauren, next week we're keeping a watch. I see the turkey over there. Looks like Thanksgiving Day, mostly dry.
Yeah, Wes, I don't know which turkey I like better, this one or the one on that graphic you just showed. They're each pretty special. Hopefully they'll be safe on Thanksgiving Day. But let's talk about those rain chances as you're going to be traveling. We want you to be safe for next week, for Thanksgiving week. It does look like as we get into next Monday and Tuesday, that's when our next rainmaker could be. But as we look beyond the 7-day, possibly a cool down going into Wednesday, Thanksgiving, and Black Friday before the possibility of another rainmaker the last weekend of November. So we do have that potential for rain on the horizon. Let's look now at that temperature forecast. As we look at that 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, it does look like oh, excuse me, I drank too much coffee before this. It does look like we could be having below average temperatures for a good portion of the country 6 to 10 days from now. So what does that translate to in terms of actual high versus low temperatures? Well, as we look at potential highs for next week around Thanksgiving, we're talking near or slightly below average. And then possibly as we get into the last weekend of the month and the last few days of November, notice a big cool down. This isn't low temperatures. This is potential high temperatures. So we could see a system that not only could bring us a cold rain, but the possibility of vigorous cool down going towards the end of the month. What could that mean in terms of low temperatures? Well, we've been talking about the potential as we get closer to Thanksgiving, a cool down that could maybe bring us some frost. But I think the cool down past that, as we get into the last weekend of November and the last few days of the month, this is looking at November 21st through 30th, maybe a first alert for some freezing temperatures. This is still very far out. Things can and will change as they always do, but this is what we're just showing you in terms of trends. Now, we could certainly use some more beneficial rainfall 6 to 10 days from now. It looks like the western half of the state rainfall totals would be around average for this time of the year, but the possibility of maybe some above average rainfall areas to the south and east across Alabama. So as we look at that future cast here, and I zoomed it out because a lot of you will be traveling next week. This is Thursday, next Thanksgiving on November 23rd, showing the possibility of us being dry and some sunshine, some more clouds building back in on Black Friday. Notice a disturbance could bring the possibility of some showers towards the end of next weekend. Doesn't look like a washout yet, but what I want you to notice is this big dip in the jet stream out west. This is next Sunday, and showing that possibility that if that jet stream dips down far enough, you get this elongated trough that could bring a lot of colder air and the possibility of some wet weather going into the last days of November. This is Monday, November 27th. So again, just showing that possibility of a big cool down, even bigger than what we would see around Thanksgiving. But we obviously need some more rain. We aren't the only ones who have been dealing with drought. Up in Virginia, drought conditions have even sparked a water shortage. Ashley Hoke shows where the water levels are and why town leaders are calling this a dire situation.
There's no relief in sight if you look at the weather situation. We may be getting a little rain this weekend, but it's not going to be enough to make a dent in our situation.
That situation leading to the town of Appalachia to declare a water shortage emergency.
The fact that our water supply has reduced down to 60 days, according to the town ordinance, caused us to enact the procedures with regard to water control.
Town leaders telling me they believe this is the driest fall on record since roughly 1922.
We're actually taking out more water than's going in. And the source of the water, called Ben's Branch, is absolutely dry. So the only water that is going into the reservoir is water that's pumped from the Powell River and from the interconnect that we have with the town of Big Stone Gap. Big Stone Gap has a much larger reservoir than we do, so they are able to send us water through the interconnect, and that interconnect works both ways. If they get in trouble, we can send water to them.
Businesses expected to reduce water consumption to 80% of their average monthly usage.
It is hard, like it is for us here at the restaurant at Black Bear, to cut back on water usage because we have to use water. Really don't know of a lot of ways we can cut back other than serve bottled water. We have to use our dishwasher for sanitary reasons. Just try not to waste water.
And due to this ongoing water situation, residents in town are asked to conserve water.
We hope that folks understand that the situation is dire. We don't want to get to a critical stage, and they can contribute and help to keep us out of that situation by conserving as much water as they can.
With a surcharge.
Well, we certainly hope things improve for them in Virginia and for us here in Alabama as well. We'll be right back with a final look at your forecast.
All right, welcome back. We've got some lovely weather photos that have been sent in to us, and you know what? That's never a bad view. I know it's fall, but what do you think?
I love the beach. I'm here for
Any time of the year,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that view.
Me too.
Sure is beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know, off the coast we have this low spinning away. Lauren, earlier you were talking about a couple of areas that we're watching for tropical development, but that's going to stay off to the south and east of us.
Yeah, you know, this low that is in the Gulf right now, I think if this were late August, early September, we may be a little bit more uncomfortable with it. But right now, I'm like, it's just behaving itself, bringing some much needed rain across the southeast. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll certainly take it. And there's a chance next week we're going to have another big rainmaker rolling in around Monday. I'll have some updates on that, timing it out, talking about our weekend, the full forecast tonight, first at 9.